Hey, what's going on? This is Smoke Freezy. Shout out to the homie KFJ on deck. This is our No Hook podcast. We're talking about a variety of different topics. And to this weekend is the NFC AFC playoff match. What do you got, my brother Jones? We got the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens minus 4.5. Minus 4.5. Okay. And then you got the 49ers and the Detroit Lions +7. And I'm really feeling the Detroit Lions in this play. I know
The
they're
Niners are a
I'm gonna
seven
take
point favorite in an NFC title game. They're a 7 point favorite.
yes,
That's
they're
dis.
7 point favorite.
That's very dis.
Yeah, and I seen that. I'm like, I gotta go the other way. So let's see. And
You got to go
if
the other
that's
way.
still the case, so I wanted to get your opinion on that, my guy.
Well, all right. First, that was the worst intro ever. You perpetuated like every stereotype there was. All you needed to say was "It's your boy," and then go. But now I'm just busting your chops a little bit.
Well, not bad for the first intro. So
I'm just
just
busting your chops a little bit, but
yeah,
don't
but
get
you know
don't
what?
don't break your
Busting
arm
my
patting
chops
yourself
is
in the back. Um,
busting my chops. Come on. Go ahead, man. You throw me off for a little, bro.
seriously though. I actually like the Lions in this game.
Me
Offensively, they're
too.
better than what people think.
Yeah.
They're
Gerald Goff is all right.
I'm not gonna say that, but they're fifth in total points scored. They're
Laporta.
seventh rushing attempts. They're third
Yeah.
in net averaging passing yards, passes per attempt, yards per attempt, but they're passing. And they're first in TDs. I like them offensively to move the ball. But numbers aside, because defensively they're not great, but they're a physical football team. And
I like that. I think they are good defensively, though.
here's the thing. I'm gonna break it down to you like this. I liked the Packers to beat the Cowgirls because I felt like Dallas was going to feel the pressure of 70,000 people and their expectations coming down on their head at one time when the Packers got a lead. And that Dallas wasn't good enough to overcome the pressure and overcome a Packers team that thought they could win that game. This week, the Lions not only think they can win the game, they're expecting to win this game. And the
Yeah.
49ers are home. Everybody's giving them their flowers. It's lined up perfectly for them. This should be
They're
Brock Purdy.
minus 7 points.
Well, I did a podcast, but this is supposed to be Brock Purdy's moment. This is his moment where he leads this team to the Super Bowl against a team that's never been to the Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions have never, forget won a Super Bowl. They've never competed for a Super Bowl. They've never been in a game. They're the NFL version of Daryl Morey. Never been to the championship round. Had to get that dig in on Morey. So when you consider that, the 49ers should win this game. They're at home and should win this game. But here's the first.
Definitely.
The Lions are a dome team, right? So when a dome team comes out on the road, you want it to be extreme inclement weather. It's going to be 75
Probably.
degrees in Santa Clara this tomorrow.
It's not going to
Mostly
be
sunny.
raining.
No rain. It's going to be mostly sunny. It's going to be a beautiful day. That plays into the Lions' hands because now it's just like playing in their dome. Second thing,
Yeah.
the Lions will probably get ahead early in this game, but it'll probably be close, probably be a 3-point lead. As the game goes on, Brock Purdy struggles. He'll start pressing. Kyle Shanahan, who also struggles
Turnover
in
football.
championship
They
games.
almost lost to Tampa Bay.
Well, the thing about that, the thing about the turnovers, I'm not expecting Detroit to get a lot of turnovers. I gotta look the numbers up and see if they're a team that gets a lot of turnovers, but I'm expecting them to make things very difficult. And with Debo Samuel's already struggling, with Christian McCaffrey, I've never been a big Christian McCaffrey game. Yeah, the Lions don't get a lot of turnovers. They're like 19th in turnovers or 18th. So yeah, they don't get a lot. They're middle of the road. So, but I expect Purdy to make mistakes and be late on
Me too.
passes. And I think the Lions are going to get hits on. They're going to hit him. They're going to hit him hard. They're going to hit him often. And they'll be able to
They got to
control.
run the football, though, bro.
Say again?
They got to run the football.
Well, I was just about to say that. They're a team that runs the ball effectively. You know, they're seventh in attempts, which matters because that tells you they're going to run the ball consistently. They average about 4.5, 4.6 yards a pop. So that tells you they're going to stay with it. So now you're operating in third and short with a quarterback who's not going to make the spectacular play, but he's not going to make the spectacular mistake. This game is shaping up for the Lions. On paper, the 49ers should roll. Like they should be playing in parades already. But David Montgomery is an effective running back. He's got 13 touchdowns on the season. Then they come in with Jamari. I think I said the brother's name right. Jamar Gibbs. They come in with Jamar Gibbs. He's got 10 touchdowns on the season, as well as popping 5 yards a pop. And I'm looking at these numbers as they go, and they can move the ball as far as throwing the ball. They can move it well with the with St. Brown. So yeah,
and Laporta,
I, I
the tight
like.
end, Laporta.
No. I know what you're saying. I'm gonna go out on. I'm just gonna put it out there. I like the Lions in this game. I like, and not in the
I'm
late.
totally there with you. And I wanted to say it was a 5-star lock. I didn't want to say it before. Now I'm saying it's a 5-star lock. Now it's a 5-star lock. I wasn't going to say it before, but because what you just said, now it's a 5-star lock.
Yeah, I definitely feel like this is. I definitely feel like this is a shot for this to make it happen, and I'm excited because I'm in 49ers country here. I'm in 49ers country here,
Yes,
and there's a lot of. I didn't appreciate the way the 49ers played the Eagles, but aside from that, there's a lot of anointing oil on the 49ers. Everybody, the 49ers. You know what I mean? You would have thought Kyle Shanahan's won like 5 Super Bowls. People forget he was the offensive coordinator on the Falcons team that gave away that monster lead to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? He was on the staff that ruined Donovan McNabb and Robert Griffin III, and just recently traded Trey Lance, who they gave up the farm for. But we all, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Yeah,
That doesn't matter.
we're not gonna. Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, you know,
We're good.
He's Gucci with Mr. Irrelevant. So yeah, I love the Lions in this game. And with all that said, could be wrong. They could come to 49ers could come out and roll, and it is what it is. But nah, I definitely like.
I mean, anything can happen, but consider anything can happen. We're gonna kick it over to the next game, Kansas City Chiefs versus the Baltimore Ravens. What's your take on that game, sir?
This is another moment.
I like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, this is another moment for Lamar Jackson. And this is not this is big for Lamar Jackson, man. They won 13 games this year.
He's got to do it this year, though.
They won 13 games, and they were by far in every game they played, all 17 games they were, including and then another one in the playoffs, 18 games total. They've been the most physical team. They've been the more explosive team.
Yeah.
And in the end, they've been victorious 14 out of 18 times they stepped on the field. This has got to be Lamar's moment. Just like I talked about it being Purdy's moment, this has got to be the time when Lamar Jackson proves he's the baddest football player to poop between two shoes. Because if he doesn't, it's not going to come back around again. Kansas City is right for the taking this year. They haven't been an explosive offense all year. They struggled.
No wideouts.
People talk about drops. And this bugs the stew out of me. You know why receivers drop balls? Because they've been getting punched in the mouth all game. So if you jam them on the line of scrimmage, chop them, take shots at them when they come across, even when they're in the middle when they're not getting the ball, by the time the third or fourth quarter comes, their arms become heavy. They're receivers. They're gazelles. They're not lions. They're not dogs. They get bumped around. It hurts them. It hurts their body. So, yeah, I would be shocked at but Lamar can't just win. He's got to be explosive in this win. He's got to show that he's the best quarterback on the field and the best player on the field. It can't just be a late field goal. He throws 2 picks and 1 TD and rushes for another one. No. He has to outplay Patrick Mahomes because the other cat on the other side is about that life. Mahomes is that dude. And, we know that last year from the Super Bowl because he had one good wheel and he outran our entire defense.
Yeah, that was tragic. So are you taking the are you laying the 4.5 with the Ravens?
Yeah.
4.5 at home.
Well, you get 2.5 for just being at home. We're just having the dark
Right.
color, just having the white jerseys. Yeah, I'm taking the Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens. I think they win by. I'm gonna say the Ravens win by at least 9 points.
I couldn't say that's a 5-star lock, but the 49ers Detroit Lions game, that's 5 stars. This, on the other hand, like I can see Pat Mahomes getting busy, and your boy, I think he's going to be in there. I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, it can't be a close game. It can't be a close game. Lamar hasn't seized out. They've got to score on the first 2 of their 3 possessions. They've got to get 10 points on the board early because 10 points against the Ravens, a 10-point lead for the Ravens is like a 25-point lead for anybody else. A 10-point lead for the Ravens means now Mahomes has got to drop back and throw. That means Andy Reid is going to get trigger happy. And we know how quickly he will abandon the run if the game is out of reach or if the game gets a little out of hand. So they've got to be after them. They've got to be able to, they've got to control the game from start to whistle, period. Point blank, period. There cannot be any ambiguity here. There cannot be a game-winning drive. Even if he leads them down on a game-winning drive, it's still not good enough. This is Lamar's moment. This is why you lift all them weights. This is why you run all those laps. This is why you do all those drills for this moment. You've got Kansas City coming into your building. You are the better team. You've had the better season. Prove it. Prove it. Make it happen. Don't tell me what you're prepared to do. Don't tell me what you want to do. Show me what you're going to do. Period. So I'm 4 points maybe, but it should be at least a 9-point game because Kansas City struggled all season. They won 11 games, but let's be realistic. They weren't Kansas City standard. They won 11 games because they got a kick butt quarterback back there. They got one of the greatest in sports. But that shouldn't be enough for them to go into Baltimore and win to this Sunday. Can't be enough. Can't be enough.
Straight up. Now, moving on to the next subject. Then, how are we looking on time?
Our time is good. We got to go over your transitions. We got to work on transitions. So, for instance, a good transition here would be transitioning from Lamar having to win. We want to talk. What did you want to talk about? What was the next topic? You want to talk about the Eagles, right?
I kind of wanted to go off on a different route because I feel like you're a father of 4 children.
All
and
right.
what do you think is better, Walmart or Target?
Well, Walmart's for the people. I'm always.
Where do you spend your time at?
I would say Walmart's for the people. But the problem with Walmart, see, I used to call Walmart a prison yard. Like you going to Walmart, man, you got to keep your eyes open and your wallet in your front pocket. You see some stuff in Walmart, and depending where you are in Walmart, what section of the world you're in with Walmart, like there's a meme of a lady sitting on meat in the meat section of a Walmart. Like she decided to cop a squat here on the tri-tip. And so then a few hours later, you come by. Tri-tip, good price. You get your tri-tip, but little do you know, booty juices have been all over your tri-tip.
Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
That's what you get at Walmart. You get people who speak.
Do you spend your time at Walmart or Target?
I'm at both because they got a Target close to the crib. But I don't do a lot of shopping. Target is weird. Target try to act like, Target try to act like they Target. Like, get out of here with that, man. You're still a bootleg Kmart. Like, You know what my store was back in the day? Remember Bradley's?
You remember James Way?
No.
James Way was on a White Horse Pike.
Never heard.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You got in some drama. Yo, you know what happened? You know what happened?
James Way? Are you talking about Bradley's?
No, James Way on White Horse Pike where Sherry got busted.
That was called Bradley's, man. That wasn't called James Way.
It was James Way. That wasn't Bradley's. It was James Way. First it was James Way, then the man changed to Bradley's.
No, it was always called Bradley's. I know it was Bradley's because my mom got mad at me because I needed school clothes one year. and yelled at me about having to take me school shopping. And she took me school shopping the day before, and I got a bunch of clothes from Bradley's, and it was the worst clothes ever. They were the worst clothes.
Bradley's was bad, but James Wade was like Kmart, but low budget
It was
Kmart.
Bradley. Sherry worked at Bradley's. Sherry worked at Bradley's.
Well, what happened back in the day? Do you want to
Nothing.
go over that story for
Nothing.
the viewing
Nothing.
audience?
Snitches get stitches. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Why you bring
I
that
don't
up,
know what
yo?
happened
You're
at
gonna bring
all.
that up and then flash your hair and flash the woo with your hairline over here. You're gonna bring that up and then flash the woo. Ain't nobody gonna tell. I don't know what you're talking about, man. You're not gonna get that out of me. Not today.
Yeah. Well, you know something went down, my brother.
Nothing went down.
I don't know if
Went up.
you reflect on
It went
that
all the
issue.
way up.
You
It was all
probably
the
looking
way
back,
up.
it was like, what
And
was
I
I
live to
thinking?
tell about it if I so choose.
I don't know what happened, but I just saw something happen. Was
You ran. That's what happened. You ran.
I didn't run
You
nowhere. I
ran. You ran to the Nova
never
and didn't
have,
look
never
back.
would ran.
You ran to the Nova and didn't look back and left the other two brothers there to pick up the pieces. And we ain't
No, you talk
rolled.
about another. I don't know. You talk about that was not me.
That was you.
I,
Where'd
that was
James go? He
not me.
gone. It was like them Looney Tunes commercials. All you saw was paper in the air and smoke, and you were out of there. He was like, yo, where did he go? It was like, what happened to your friend? I don't know what you're talking about. You know, the light skinned dude running around here. He was like, man, we don't know what you're talking about. So we had to eat that. We had to eat that while you went home, like, shh, not me. So yeah, nobody talking about that. You were out. I was what was it?
I don't know what you're talking
What
about, man.
outing like 5Gs. Yeah, nah, you bounced. That's what happened. That's the only thing we need to talk about, how you bailed on dudes.
Bro, you were. I don't know what you're talking about. I never left y'all nowhere. Y'all always get me into trouble.
We couldn't get you in trouble because you got out of there. You heard about it, but you ain't see it. Anyway, man, why you bringing that up? Why you trying to indict people? We fathers now, you know what I mean?
Well,
we live good lives. We don't even steal
father.
cable. What are you talking about?
Well, God has been good. What can I say? What can I say?
What else?
So anyway, about this other issue that I've been thinking about a lot, which was Gilbert Arenas and Jabari Christensen. Can you run down that story, because that's very interesting to me, and I don't know if people know about it.
I'm not touching that story. Gilbert is in the same space. I'm a big fan of his work. I'm a huge fan of Josiah. Josiah came up through the mud. You know, he's a brother that is doing his thing, and he's not a former athlete. So for him to get the platform and the opportunity that he's got, I got nothing but respect and admiration for Josiah.
I'm giving him his props too. I definitely F with him, especially even when he was a pro. I thought he got busy, but that story though.
His story is tremendous. You know, I know what you want to talk about, but I'm going to transition. Him talking about the after effects of mentally what he dealt with after the whole Critterton situation and what happened in DC, and him feeling like people were watching him and like everybody's staring at me now, like feeling that and losing his confidence. I think so. And for him to share that, like I said, man, I got an infinite amount of respect for Gilbert Arenas, man. And
I do too. And you know who else is Paul Pierce? He got stabbed and he was like, you don't remember when he got stabbed and he was
yeah, I remember Paul Pierce getting poked out in a nightclub and almost dying.
He was always looking over his shoulder. Huh?
Why you want to talk about Paul Pierce getting poked out in the club?
I don't know. You just said that he over that Critterton situation that he was like looking over his shoulder and people staring at him. And he may have had some paranoia over that whole situation.
No, he said that when he was in the stadium before, he never paid attention to fans, never paid attention to noise. He said, but after that situation, he was just like, are they watching me? Everybody's looking at me now. Like, are they thinking I'm a failure? Like, he cared about what people thought, and that messed him up, and he was never the same player.
How about that?
You know, Gilbert should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know when he's eligible.
To this day, he's doing a podcast.
Yeah, but Gilbert should be in the Hall of Fame, and no one talks about that because you think of all the antics, but he was probably ahead of his time as far as 3-point shooting, long distance shooting. The things we
Yes,
see
he got
Dame Lillard
beast.
do, the things we see Steph Curry do. Gilbert could do those things, and he could do it at a high efficiency. He led a Washington Wizards franchise that has been abysmal since he left. You know, the John Wall
Pretty much.
years were supposed to be championship years, and they got as far as Gilbert got. He took on LeBron. He was a yeah, he was. I would definitely say, based on the metrics of who's in the Hall of Fame now, Gilbert Arenas is a Hall of Fame player, and he was a spectacular player. He was a
He got beast.
phenomenal player.
Yeah,
Phenomenal
he was
player.
very nice. And his podcast. Shout out to Gilbert Arenas. His podcast is good too.
It's one of the better podcasts out there. It's you know, you want to give a shout out to, I want to say Josiah Jackson, but I don't remember if his last name is Jackson, and it's late. I'm getting sleepy. But I know his first name is Josiah, and I got so much respect for that brother. Him and JT that does JT Sports Brief. He does the host. He's the host for CBS Sports. You know, in this space, non-black athletes don't get a lot of opportunities. The only time you really get an opportunity is if you've either kicked the hit of the ball. And for those two brothers to get the platform that they have, and shout out to Gilbert for giving it to him. And Gilbert, you know, as we celebrate pardon me, the great Kobe Bryant's 80-point
Rest
win
in
and
peace.
on the heels of his untimely death, Gilbert said that he was actually supposed to coach with Kobe. Kobe had been after him to coach, and it didn't work out. And obviously, Kobe passed. But yeah, he was about to start coaching with Kobe. So, you know, that's another story. Gilbert's got the best stories, man.
Yeah, he does. He probably does.
You
He
know,
got them all though. It's just in our era with all the great players that we watch with AI. Uh, what else you want to say? Kobe, Shaq, and all them guys.
yeah, you know, and transitioning
There's a
from
lot of good podcasts out there with NBA players nowadays, which is pretty cool. I like
whoa,
it.
whoa, there is not. There is not. Gilbert's
There
podcast
is
is great. Outside of Gilbert, whose other podcast are you trying to peddle to me right now?
Pat Beverly.
Stop it. Next.
No, 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 no.
Next.
What else? Who else you got out there? You got old old Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's podcast. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That's what they call a reach. I think that's what they call a reach. A reach. I think that's what they call a reach. I
I
don't
can't
like
think of their name
podcasts.
right now, but definitely Pat Bev
I don't
and
think that podcasts that are interview driven podcasts are good by athletes. Because that
you okay, master's degree person
yes, I
that you don't appreciate just regular lowbrow.
well, it's
You're
because
more of the
they not doing any of the work. There's some guy that plays the electric guitar that's doing the research for them and then sitting there watching them use lock. I don't want to say lock, but use talk to these athletes like they're, you know, I just don't like it. I don't respect it. The thing that makes Gilbert's podcast so dope is that they talk hoops. They're doing the work. Josiah's putting together the platform for him. So it's like I'm trying to think. Remember with I don't know if you remember the Genius, right? The Genius from Wu Tang, your hairline, and sorry,
Hey, buddy, right here, buddy. Right here, buddy. Right here, pal.
he said that he didn't rock with Rolling Stone, or I forget, it was Rolling Stone magazine. He said because they send somebody to interview him that's supposed to know about hip hop, and it's some mountain climber that plays the electric guitar, and you know it's like there's an authenticity to what you do. And there's work behind the scenes in what you do. You mentioned my master's degree. You put years getting this together, and here you have a guy that dropped out of college because he played basketball for 5 or 8 or 9 years, hops on a major platform and gets paid. That platform gets paid by somebody who has no respect for us as people anyway. And then they get on there and they
Well,
go ahead.
I was going to say, is that debate? It is what it is. It's like everybody has an opportunity to, be
Yeah,
on a
we can all get
podcast.
the opportunity, but I'm not going to support podcasts that there's no creativity behind them. Like you're just
I
sitting around
mean,
talking to people. I'm
I'm
good.
subscribed to Pat Beverly's podcast. I'm not subscribed.
You wanted to be George
Yeah.
Jefferson in a former life, so there's that.
What? Uh, you're a lot shorter than I am, so just be
But
quiet.
that's got no, I never wanted to be George Jefferson. You got so many
Yeah, but
black sitcom dads. You got James Evans, man that rocked the same corduroys with
but you're like five
golden
three.
urine
So
corduroy wearing James Evans. Nah, I don't want to be like him. You could have been like, I'm trying to think, what other black man was there on TV at that time? You could have been like,
you're like 5'3".
you could have been like
You're
Fred
five
Stanford or
three.
Lamont Stanford, own their own
You're
business,
5'3".
making the way in the world today, showing you what it's like. This dude said, I want the man that cleaned people's drawers and thought he was James Brown and looked like a chihuahua. And had a wife that said, oh, Navy, oh, Navy. That's what you wanted to be like.
No. Mm-mm. So rolling right on through these streets, my man Joe
No.
KFJ, 5'3" KFJ is in the house, and we still talking sports and whatever. And we've come to find out that KFJ don't know the difference or have a favorite between Walmart and Target.
What? I am a Walmart dude, man. I support Walmart. Walmart's for the people.
No, 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 no. Walmart is for the lower brow, the lower rung of people, the lower rung of society,
Man,
where
please.
they put in all kind of weird things in the meat. It's not healthy.
Ain't nobody buying no meats from Walmart, dude.
They they giving you like expired products on the
We
shelves.
got 9 minutes left. Man, if you buy an
Mm.
expired product, that's on you.
No,
Read the
they
labels, read them loud.
well, we read the labels, but sometimes you don't read them until the last moment, and then you get it at home, and then you got some stale Pop Tarts or something.
Dude, you don't read the label until the final moment, then you get what you get and you don't get upset. You can't turn around and say that. By the way, so just recap. We both agree on the Lions. We both agree on the Ravens, right?
No, are we doing 4.5 though? That's what I'm trying to think.
Well,
I
no,
was saying it's going to be closer.
you said 4.5
Huh?
for the Ravens.
Yeah, the mine is
No,
four
I
and a
said I
half.
got 9. I said I got 9. So I think the Ravens win by. I said they got more. I think they. I don't. I think they.
Oh, you said it.
I think
Okay,
they. I
okay,
think
okay.
no, not cover. I think
Oh,
they.
they're going to blow them out.
Yeah, I think they're gonna blow. I think they're gonna win big.
Okay.
4.5.
Well, all right. Me too. Me too. Me too. I said it was close, but I mean, you're right. They probably should just blow them out on out. Kansas City, to me, I don't think they have the wide receiver play, or it hasn't been there for me all season.
I think in NFC title games, you are what you are, and you become a team that mirrors what you've been throughout the season. And Kansas City's been inconsistent. They've struggled to catch the ball. They've struggled to make big plays consistently. And that's not, I don't believe that's going to come out short. Now, I want to talk, before we get going, I want to talk about the Clippers. The Clippers have won 16 of their last 20 games. I'm going to repeat that for you. And it goes further than that. If you want to make it, if you want to go down to 30, you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they've actually won 24 of their last 30 games.
Are they so you're telling me they're a problem?
I'm gonna say we need to give James Harden some respect.
Yeah,
He,
with that
when
record.
he when they were struggling, the line was looking like Black Friday to chastise him. Everybody was in line waiting to take shots at James Harden. Oh, he sucks.
Me too. I didn't like James Harden.
And now that he's rolling, it looks like an upscale club. Like nobody's there. Nobody, maybe 1 or 2 people give him a tip of the hat. 24 out of 30. They blew out the Celtics, the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference, by 20 today.
How about that?
Yeah, dude, we need to
How
start.
about that?
They need to start. Now, I get it. Everyone wants to say the Clippers aren't healthy. We got about 5 minutes left. Everyone wants to say the Clippers aren't healthy. You know, the question is, can they stay healthy? But any other team led by any other player and any other coach, they run like this. If the Nuggets rolling like this, oh, Joker, he's the greatest ever. There's nothing you can do to stop him. He's the best player ever. Forget the fact that he couldn't even get out of the first round or second round without Jamal Murray. But let's move past that.
They almost lost to the Sixers too today, by the way.
Did Embiid play?
No, Embiid did not play.
Okay. so we're just gonna move on. You know what I mean? If there was any other team that was rolling like this, if any other team was rolling like this, people would be lining up to pat them on the back. But because it's the Clippers, nobody wants to show a little love. So I want to show a little love with the Clippers. And look, healthy is the key for them. That's all that matters. If they're healthy, they're in the NBA.
When was the last time they was healthy though? Like
they're never
Paul
healthy.
George.
They're never healthy.
They're never healthy though.
It doesn't mean that we can't give James, because James Harden usually is healthy. He just doesn't play strong in the playoffs consistently.
I give James Harden his props, but at the same time, it's like, is he going to be in there in the playoffs? I don't think so. He wasn't. He's never there in the playoffs.
He gave us two 40-point games in the playoffs in the second round last year.
He did that. You need more though. As sad as it say, you need more.
Of course, you need more. But
and those other, he gave you 40, but the other games he was giving you nothing, like 20 or 10 points or something.
It was like 12. He was playing 1 on 5, right? Because he was, or 4 on 5, because he wasn't giving you anything. But the other 4 players get a pass. Look, I get it, and I understand it. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. But the fact still remains that James Harden gets busy in the regular season. And if we're going to sit here and congratulate Karl Anthony Towns for scoring 60 points, give Embiid the world, give Embiid the pimp blimp that says the world is yours for scoring 70 points, and crown Luka for scoring 73, we need to show a little love to them boys in Clipperville, because they doing the damn thing right now. They doing it.
Fair enough.
You know. All right. So we agree on that. So we agree on something. So we can end the show on this. That's it
fair,
for this
because
episode of No Hook. You going to close it out, or you want me to close it out?
Go for it, my brother.
That's it for this episode of No Hook. For Smoke Freezy, I'm K Jones. We appreciate your time and your ear. Until next time, y'all be easy.